Do you like games that make you feel smart? I know I do. I remember playing Phoenix Wright for the first time as a kid and yelling, "You just got owned!" when I was able to present contradicting evidence to the witness on the stand. No. According to this report, the power went out at 5:30 p.m., liar. That's why I love games like Case of the Golden Idol and Return of the Obra Dinn nowadays. Games that require you to use deduction skills like a detective instead of shooting down 65 thugs with dual-wielding pistols. Also like a detective. I'm not hating. I like testing my eye-hand coordination as much as the next guy. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I like to play games that test your thinking and comprehension skills. I also really like games that I can play with one hand, especially now that my hands are a lot fuller than they used to be. Some people call them puzzle games, but I feel a lot cooler calling these games detective games. If you're also a fan, then you need to play the next big detective game on the block, The Roottrees Are Dead, a game about solving a family mystery by piecing together their family tree from a cozy 90s home office, complete with an era-appropriate computer and my personal favorite, the printer. Ah, yes. The more of the tree I filled in, the more of the mystery revealed itself, sucking me in more and more until I knew exactly what happened. Now, being a detective game, I will only be talking about gameplay from the first few hours because, like every good detective game, as we all know, the less you know going in, the better. If that didn't scare you off, my name's Curious, and I'm here to tell you why The Roottrees Are Dead is worth your time, even if tracing a fictional genealogy doesn't sound very fun on paper. The game starts with a fuzzy TV informing you that a plane crash has tragically ended the lives of a wealthy CEO and his 3 famous daughters. You get a knock at the door, and a mysterious woman explains that now that the Roottrees are all dead, every blood relative directly related is about to get a lot richer. Since you're a basement genealogy expert, this woman wants you to make sure every family member is accounted for. But first, she has a test for you. Using the internet and this picture, she wants you to identify the 3 Roottrees sisters on this tree. And no, it's not the actual internet. The game has you using a fictional version of the internet from 1998. The first thing I thought was, hey, can't I just reverse search this image? No, idiot. I just said it's 1998. You can click on their faces, though. Once you connect to the internet, you can start gathering information via keyword search. Since we only have their last name, the first thing you'll probably search is the second thing you'll probably search is root tree. Instead of pulling up a search list and having you actually do research, you get a condensed version of everything related on the internet to your investigation. In my headcanon, this is the main character's superpower. So from here, you can search Roottree Candy Company or Carl Roottree like I did. One keyword leads to an article with another keyword in it that leads to another article as the picture slowly fills in. Okay, it looks like Carl Roottree had a company called Root. Once you look up that company, you can see that his daughter's modeled for his clothing line. I don't want to give everything away, but you find out their names, but not whose face goes with which name. With a couple of other hints like, ooh, only ever got married. Is there anything in this picture that tells you which one of these is married? Once you get all 3 names, the mysterious woman returns and tells you that she's impressed that you know how to use the internet. Now that you've proven yourself, here's the full family tree. And yeah, it's pretty overwhelming at first. But this time, she gives you a list of leads, and just like before, once you get 3 names right, they'll be locked in. Fans of the Obra Dinn, I'm sure you're already picking up on this game's formula. The information you gather isn't limited to articles online you find via keyword either. You get access to the public library where you can search for books that you can find out about online, as well as magazine periodicals, which come in handy when you hear about something you know is out there but not online. Like if it has something to do with one of the actors or actresses that are in the Roottrees family, check the celebrity gossip periodicals. Did a lawsuit happen that's been scrubbed off the internet but was probably written about at the time? Check the local newspapers in that area. And since everything you search for is condensed, you know immediately if you're on the right track or not. The game will even tell you right away when you've hit a dead end, and I think that's because the game has a huge respect for your time. I was not in love with the look of the game when I first saw it on Steam. I thought the game looked cheap, and to be fair, that might just be because the game came from a very minimalist approach to game design. The Roottrees Are Dead was originally created by Jeremy Johnston when he participated in Global Game Jam 2023, the game festival where developers race to make a video game within 48 hours. In order to create so many images in such a short time, Jeremy utilized AI. As the game grew in popularity amongst the indie dev community, Jeremy Johnston was approached by another developer named Robin Ward, who spearheaded the Roottrees Are Dead from an internet browser game to a full Steam release. All of the AI art was replaced by original illustrations. They added a really helpful hint system that nudges you in the right direction without plot spoilers. They also added an entire second act that expands on the story from the original version. What the game lacks in presentation, it more than makes up for it in substance. It didn't take long for the immersion to melt me into my virtual office chair, listening to smooth, mostly royalty-free jazz music. There's also no better excitement than when you search a certain keyword or periodical and the printer fires up, because that's how you know you did something right and are now on the right track. Speaking of on the right track, something that I have to mention, and I don't know where else to in this video, this game has original tracks in it that were made by musicians you'll find out about in the story, and I love these songs. Maybe a little too much. Guys all rush to say that I'm pretty. Ladies blush and find me so witty. Out of love and I wanna witty. Rolling, rolling, rolling on down the city. I assume they were originally made by a friend of Jeremy Johnston's, or maybe he had even been in a band on the side and these are tracks that he had laying around, but no. He wrote the lyrics and melodies himself, then hired musicians he found online to record it for him. I should be thrown in jail for how many times I've been walking around my house singing, "Guys, I'll rush to say that I'm pretty." There are other songs in the game that I will leave for you to find for yourself, but there's one in particular that is very, very funny, and I think you'll know what I'm talking about as soon as you find it. In detective novels, whenever the mystery is revealed completely at the very end, along with all the relevant clues you, the viewer, may or may not have missed along the way, it's called a denouement. As much as this game gets compared to Return of the Obra Dinn and the Golden Idol games, one thing this game does that those games don't is have a denouement. It has 2 denouements actually, one for each act, and they both were my favorite parts of the game. I got satisfaction from what I figured out on my own turning out to be right, while also getting to know the things that I had missed. When everything was all said and done, I was going, "Oh, hell no!" at least 5 different times, especially after the second act. Sheesh! The Roottrees Are Dead can easily be finished in 7 to 10 hours. Probably quicker if you end up using the hint system a lot, like I had to in the end of the second act. That doesn't make me any less of a detective, okay? It's $20 on Steam and is well worth the price. Look at this review score. Huh? Everybody who touches this game loves it. So what are you waiting for? If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I'm always on the lookout for good detective games, so if you have any favorites that I didn't mention here, let me know in the comments. Until next time, gamers.